I saw God once. He was standing in line at the grocery store, shifting singing dimes in an empty coffee tin. I saw God once. She was cross-stitched into a mezzanine mirror, pinching apart a pair of pale peaches like dough that winked pink dragon's eyes, a mocking delicacy. I have seen God. She was waiting for a train. He was riding on a horse. She was kneeling at the curtains. He was hissing and booing in a crippled car at the railroad tracks. God plucked me out of a park pool when I was 5 years old. He was broad and Brazilian, and his dark thistled forearm itched at my sun-nibbled cheeks. Or maybe it was the shame that made them shine. It was the morning clinging to the leaves. It was the morning clinging to the leaves on the fallen tree, axed into the dilapidated castle, moaning behind an older face fence made out of its bones. I saw God in the movies. He was Marlon Brando and James Bond. I saw him in a blotted newsreel in middle school, spitting venom across Europe, of blonde, blue, and white, of crimson and flame. I saw God once. She was sleeping on the cathedral steps with a dead baby in her arms. He's a man who scoffed the nerve, and the boys who rained on her with rocks in their pockets like a breeze of sand in the shadow of the sinking boulder nestled at her chest. I saw God once in a seething bag, slithering under a boy named Adam's desk, slipping under his pant leg and choking his spine. I saw God once on a flippant news report of a 14-year-old boy who found an oak with strength that spit in his eye and hung himself from it. The infantile dreams were of a man in white, lunged like axes with a sack full of lakes and stars and broken hearts slung across his unwavering grin, with not even a trickle of stain under his pristine pits. It worked like glue for many moons, until it didn't. I saw God at night, with the head of a ram who spoke like a man, but was not a man in the slightest. Strung tiny fingers hung round his neck, clanged like chimes, sang like tears. He donned a smart cloak of matted hairs, clasped by pearled molars. A sweet, satirical symphony he stuck into my skull, like arsenic honey crusting my eyes and nose and mouth and dreams. Okay, maybe his mouth moved strange when he spoke, and maybe his gums were blood red, but he was my dearest friend. The 1,000 or so day night was impeded by slow golden steps. I met the woman of the cliff on this morning. She sat silent and strong as a root. Her red clay palms bloomed to the violet sky, her face washed with placid light. You know, I thought I heard a bird singing sweet in her belly, but I found the voice to be mine. I met God this morning. She's the girl who grew up in a broken glass house and now colors and chisels each shard together into windows for the light to be shown in. He's the boy who watched his mother beaten and consumed by fire by his father and drinks only water and carries only water in his fists as the chief of the fire department. She's a woman who painted a banner out of tears and carries it in the parade to end the war. He's a boy who was poor and sweated for every penny and gives his riches back to the children just like him. He is the man who has nothing and everything. She's the woman who is mute and sings like an angel. He charmed a car full of drunks out of a ticket and saved his teenage sister from jail. She pulled up her sleeves and showed me the scars etched like roots on her arms and assured me she had been there. He bummed me a smoke. She carried me home. He told me I could be whatever I wanted to be. God is you, God is me, and everything we can see or feel or taste or smell or can't. When you are speaking, God is on your tongue. And when I am dancing, God is in my feet. So if you search for God, quit picking through the clouds. Put your toes back on the ground, because God is in the street.